welcome back. So we were talking about the cellular endosperm. The cellular endosperm is formed when the primary endosperm nucleus undergoes divisions of the nucleus, and immediately wall formation occurs immediately after nuclear division. After the subsequent divisions also are accompanied by cell plate formation, and the endosperm becomes completely cellularized and it covers the entire embryo sac. Example of cellular endosperm is it is found in balsam, petunia, barley, grass, utricularia, and the coconut, which is the copra, which is the hard part, the meat. So what are the different haustoria found in cellular endosperm? The haustoria in cellular endosperm, which is, if let me recap, what is the haustoria? The haustoria in is a specialized structure which is able to invade the tissue of the seed and the placenta. It helps the endos it absorbs the resources from the developing tissue in order to feed the growing endosperm. So, because of the presence of haustoria, the endosperm can grow. Okay, just like we can give an example like the endosperm is synonymous with the nanny of a baby. Okay, the baby is like the the embryo. Here you have the embryo, which is the baby, and the endosperm is like the nanny feeding the baby. Okay, so in the haustoria, how does the haustoria in cellular endosperm, how does it look like? Haustoria, they are more common in cellular endosperm, and if you remember, in nuclear endosperm, haustoria is found only at the this is the nuclear endosperm. It is found only at the chalazal end. But in cellular endosperm, you have haustoria that can arise from micropylar end or from the chalazal end or both. So, example of a micropylar haustoria can be found in a species of flower known as Impatiens royale and Hydrocera triflora. That is one of the types of endosperm. So here, please take time to draw this diagram along with the other diagrams that I have given in the video. This is the example of a micropylar haustorium arising from the micropylar end of the embryo sac. It is found in impatiens. Besides micropylar, we have chalazal haustorium formed in some species, for example, like in Iodina rhombifolia, also in Nemophila. So, how does this chalazal haustorium, how is it formed? The haustorium is usually formed before fertilization. This is something important to it's very interesting because the endosperm in angiosperm is actually formed after fertilization, but in chalazal haustorium of Iodina, haustorium is formed before the fertilization. After fertilization, the primary endosperm nucleus is followed by transverse partitioning of the central cell, resulting in the formation of a micropylar and a chalazal chamber. The endosperm is then derived from the micropylar chamber alone, and the chalazal chamber will function as the haustorium, and there is a profuse branching of the haustorium to give rise to a very coralloid appearance. Okay, so if you take a look at this iodina, I don't have the picture right now, but I have another example of a chalazal haustorium. This is found in Nemophila. Okay, so in Nemophila, we have both endosperm, both the microphylla and the chalazal haustorium, which are going to be found. So in this picture, you have the in Nemophila you have haustoria, which rises out from the microphylla region, and the another haustoria arising from the chalazal region. Sorry, this is the chalazal haustorium. So those are the different types of haustoria which are found in cellular type of endosperm. And so to conclude, in cellular endosperm, unlike the microphylla, unlike the nuclear endosperm, what is the difference that you find? Well, unlike the nuclear endosperm, the cellular endosperm, the nuclear free nuclei are totally absent. All whereas in nuclear endosperm, free nuclei are present. What about haustoria? The haustoria usually is formed from the chalazal, arising from the chalazal region. But in cellular endosperm, haustoria can arise from micropyle or from the chalazal region or from both the two regions together. Okay, and also cellularization occurs only at the micropylar end in terms of nuclear endosperm, but in cellular endosperm, cellularization occurs throughout the endosperm. So those are important differences to consider in both the two endosperms. Thank you.